Funny, isn't it? You're a saint as long as you say yes. You're lovable, admirable, a good man as long as you're bending to her will. But the second you dare say no, suddenly you're selfish, you're cold, you're the villain of the story. Oh, but don't worry, she'll rewrite the script so perfectly. 1 minute you're the knight in shining armor, the next you're the monster under the bed. And all it took was one word, one boundary, one no. Let's be honest, that's not love. That's control dressed up in sweet words and fake affection. That's not partnership. That's a performance. Your performance. And the standing ovation only comes when you play your part exactly the way she wrote it. You ever notice how temporary the affection is? How fragile? It evaporates the second you step out of line. You bend, you break, you bleed for her. Then you get applause. You stand your ground, protect your peace, dare to have a backbone. Suddenly, you're the worst man alive. That's not love. Love doesn't punish you for saying no. Love doesn't vanish because you didn't obey. Love doesn't keep score, waiting for the moment you slip so it can crucify you. That's not love, it's a dictatorship with lipstick. And the best part, she'll call you controlling. She'll paint you as toxic. She'll gather her little audience and whisper, "See? He's difficult. He's stubborn. He's cruel." Meanwhile, you're just guilty of not living as her personal servant. Here's the truth. If someone only loves you when you do what they want, they don't love you. They love their reflection in you. They love their own control. They love the version of you that never disagrees, never resists, never breathes without permission. So stop chasing that counterfeit love. Stop apologizing for your spine. Stop handing over your soul just to keep the peace. Because if her love disappears when you say no, then it was never love. It was manipulation. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. So let her call you the villain. Fine. Be the villain. Because the truth is, villains don't bow. Villains don't obey. Villains don't break. And maybe that's exactly what you were meant to be. To someone who only loved you when you were on your knees. You see, there's a dangerous lesson hidden in all of this. If you're not careful, you start to believe her script. You start thinking, maybe I am the bad guy. Maybe I am selfish. Maybe I don't deserve love unless I give in. And that, right there, is how men get broken. Not by the no they said, but by the guilt that followed. But I'll tell you the truth. Boundaries aren't cruelty. Self-respect isn't selfish. Saying no doesn't make you the villain. It makes you alive. It makes you human. And if someone can't handle your humanity, then they were never worthy of your loyalty in the first place. Think about it. How fragile must their so-called love be if a single act of independence shatters it? How weak must their devotion be if it only survives when you bow? That's not love. That's a leash. And the second you see it, you realize you've been living like a trained dog, not a man. And here's the wake-up call. You don't need that leash anymore. You don't need her permission to breathe. You don't need to earn crumbs of affection by sacrificing your soul. You don't need to beg to be loved. Because real love claps for your boundaries. Real love respects your no. Real love wants you strong, not obedient. Real love grows when you stand tall. It doesn't crumble. But she didn't want love, did she? She wanted a puppet, strings tied tight. Smile when she says smile. Dance when she says dance. And the day you cut those strings, that's the day she called you the villain. Good. Let her. Wear the mask of the villain proudly, because villains are free. Villains don't beg. Villains don't clause. Villains don't sell their dignity for scraps of validation. So the next time she tries to paint you as the monster for daring to live by your own rules, don't defend yourself. Don't explain. Don't beg her to understand. Just smile. Because the truth is, if you're the villain in her story, you finally escaped being the prisoner in it, and that is the most dangerous freedom of all. Let me tell you what's really happening when she only loves you as long as you obey. It's not about love at all. It's about control. It's about her testing the leash, tugging harder each time to see how far she can bend you before you snap. And the cruel joke, every time you gave in, every time you said, "Fine, I'll do it your way," you thought you were saving the peace. You thought you were protecting the relationship. But in reality, you were just teaching her one thing. My boundaries mean nothing. My no means nothing. And my soul is negotiable. And once she learns that lesson, she'll never stop. She'll push, she'll pull, she'll twist. Because she knows you'll break yourself just to avoid the explosion. That's not partnership. That's hostage negotiation. But here's the secret that they don't want you to know. Once you start saying no and standing on it, really standing on it, the mask falls. Suddenly all that love evaporates, doesn't it? Suddenly you're selfish. Suddenly you're toxic. Suddenly you're the bad guy. Because you stopped being the good little soldier. That's not love falling apart. That's manipulation losing its grip. Oh, and the best part, when you finally raise your voice, when you finally call out the double standard, when you finally dare to speak with fire, she'll clutch her pearls and cry, "Look at you, you're so angry. You're so abusive. I don't even feel safe." Do you see the trick now? She hurts you, you react, and then you become the monster. That's the game. That's how she keeps the spotlight off her betrayal and shines it on your reaction. Classic smoke and mirrors. And if you fall for that trick, you'll spend your life apologizing for being human. You'll crawl on your knees just to prove you're not what she accused you of being. And guess what? That's exactly where she wants you. Broken, guilty, tame. But there comes a moment, a dangerous moment, when the man finally realizes, I don't need to prove myself innocent anymore. I don't need to play defense in a game that was rigged from the start. Because if she's gonna call you the villain no matter what, you might as well stop auditioning for the role of the hero. So stand up, take back your voice, say no and don't explain. Walk out of the circus, tear off the strings. If she only loved you when you obeyed, then she never loved you. She loved control. And the day you break free from that grip, that's the day you stop being her puppet and start being a man again.